Hi everybody. Welcome to Friday Fun Live with Bonnie and Bonnie Barker with BonnieBayCrochet.com. And we're not in New York this time. Yay! We've gone several hours south. We are back in Conway, South Carolina, where the weather is moderate, no longer freezing.
No.
You guys had that cold front too, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, they had the real cold weather
Not
too.
as cold as New York,
No.
but still cold.
But what a wonderful time. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you. Hi, Francis. Hi, Marie. Thank you for joining us today. Got a lot of fun things to cover. Oh, somebody's not happy. We wanted you to meet our little kitty, and she is ready to bolt. Ah, that's attitude and all. Okay, I was going to tell you what a nice kitty she is, but she's not in a good mood right now.
Hi.
This is Noel. She is Becky's and Brian's fur baby.
Yeah.
And how long have you had her now?
A little over 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yeah.
She was adopted out of
Humane
the
Society.
Humane Society shelter out of Lynchburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
And she has been a blessing to us. She's usually in a pretty good mood, but she wants to wander. So maybe,
Okay,
you know what?
all right.
She did not make a good impression
Okay.
there. Okay, the cats are not dogs. Okay, she's actually not allowed in this room, so she was quite fascinated. And as Becky was holding her, she wanted to check out all the electrical wires
And the yarn.
And the yarn. I have to tell you a funny story. I drove down yesterday with Craig, my husband, and when I travel, I have to bring my work with me. So, you know, those big bins that you have your yarn stored in? I probably have 3 of them in tow with me. That's things that I'm going to work on. And there's this one bin that has a project. It's a secret project I'm working on. It's made out of Australian alpaca wool blend. I picked this wonderful stuff. It's yarn that I picked up about 1.5 years ago when I was visiting you guys in Australia. And the cat could smell it, I think, coming through the container, and she just got on top of that thing and didn't want to move from that container. So she knows what she likes. She likes the good stuff. So anyway, well, let me go ahead and check in, see who else we have in the chat. Ooh, the Killer Muppet. Ooh, that's an interesting name you got there. Let's see. We have Marie. I said hey to Marie. She's not too far from me down in Charleston. I hope we can get together, Marie. Maybe we can go get coffee or something. You know, see how my mother-in-law's doing. Brat's mom, welcome. She says she loves your fur baby.
Aw,
Fur baby's
thank
usually
you.
in a much better attitude, but
She loves people,
She
but
does.
if she doesn't want to be doing what you're
Yeah.
making her do,
yeah, she's got to be in control
She's
of the
not happy.
situation for sure.
yes.
We have Bobby in the chat, the Crafty Kentuckian. Welcome, Bobby. Glad to see you're well. Jacqueline from Los Angeles. Yay. Send some of that good weather this way, please. Hopefully you're having good weather out there in LA. Let's see. I love Loopy Crochet and Treasures. Thank you for joining us. That sounds like a fun channel. And Sandra, she says she has 2 kittens they rescued, Girly and Gracie. That is a cute name. You'd love to have another cat, wouldn't you?
No.
No. Okay.
Noel's a handful,
Yeah.
and she's quite enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Lazy Linda from Phoenix. Lazy Linda Crochet. That's a cool name. And Deb Skies. Good to see you. Nancy from Ontario. Stay warm, my friend. And Wanda Wyatt. Wanda, I don't say, where are you now? She says she's in Texas right now. Wanda is a trucker. She drives all over the place. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, Wanda, I hope you know, if you ever get to the Washington, D.C. area, I know from our conversation you don't get down south too much, but if we're ever in D.C. area and Maryland the same time, do look me up. I want you to come on over and we can have some crochet time together. So, but looks like Bobby needs some prayers. Bobby will be praying for you. Had a little bit of a fall, it looks like. Let's see, Kathy Barrier and rainy Western North Carolina. Oh, I wonder if we're going to get that rain. We'll probably get it in a day or so then. Right now it's kind of nice and overcast here, but Jacqueline Lefridge, if I'm saying that right. Um, Hope you get the rain you need. And Velma and Erica from Greensboro. My first conference I went to, the CGOA conference, was in Greensboro. What a lot of fun that was. Um, Sandra says their 2 kittens are enough. I bet they are.
Depending on the cat, they can be a handful.
Yeah. And a Garden Girl says she's here and a beginner in crocheter. Well, Garden Girl, you are welcome here. I actually have a beginner project coming out. It's really fun, and I'm going to tell y'all the name of it right now. Okay, it takes special yarn that they have at Michael's. It only takes 1 scan. It's called the 30-minute scarf, and it is a beginner scarf. And yes, you can do it in 30 minutes. It took me about 15, so and that's not to brag or boast or anything, but when you've been doing
fast.
When you do something for about 50 years, you kind of get a little good at it if you're doing it right, I guess. But anyway, let's see. We got a lot of talk here. Just to let you know, I always read through all the comments, and if there's anything that I don't answer, I'll try to get to it next week. Or if I don't answer your question, if you could post later in the comments below once the video has rendered, I promise I will answer it there if I don't get a chance to answer it in person. And in case I haven't, for those of you who've not met Becky, this is Becky. I was going to say Becky Barker, but Becky Bullabush, my married daughter.
Yes.
And she is the one who's my bouncer usually, and just keeping us all safe, making sure that if anybody wants to come in with not so nice things, we just kind of escort them to a waiting room, and if they continue, we escort them off of our channel forever.
And if they're bad enough the first time, they just immediately get blocked.
They did. Yeah, we just kind of bounce them.
Goodbye.
Boom. Yeah, say bye-bye. So if that's any of you guys,
it's not
sorry,
like you guys.
No, sorry, not sorry.
It's not any of you guys.
No,
we
it's
know
not.
that.
No, the crocheting faithful are amazing. Well, I got a lot on the agenda today. We probably are going to go 45 minutes. I don't know, but I will try to make it fast and fun.
But there's so much yarn.
You should see the yarn I got right in front of me. And I've got some tools to show you. And I've
an
got
unboxing.
a KnitCrate unboxing. I have not even looked at this yet, and I've been dying to look at it. But I decided I'm going to make this a real unboxing. I am not going to look at it until it's time. So, I just got back from a trip to New York City. It was only my 2nd time in the city. And I had a blast. It was interesting. It was a mix at times.
It was cold.
It was very cold. I got to wear my new coat. I got to wear all my crochet gear. And I could have used an extra hat. I was wearing my crochet hat on the subway, and by the time I would stop somewhere, my ears were frozen, even though I was wearing a really warm hat. And then, you ever have that experience when it's so cold and you go into a place and try to talk and your mouth just doesn't work? Well, it was as cold as that. But had a lot of fun. Met some unsavory people once or twice, but by and large, the people I interacted with that were, New York residents were fabulous. And at Vogue Knitting Live, I didn't really get to see a lot of the programs. It was very expensive, actually. The package was crazy expensive to be able to see the shows, but I think I was in the best place because I was in the marketplace meeting everybody, just the normal people, well, for New York. But anyway, the normal people coming through to look at yarn. The majority of the people were knitters, so it wasn't the same as going to a Crochet Guild conference. I personally adore going to the Crochet Guild of America conferences because these are almost pure crocheters.
A lot of great people.
A lot of wonderful people. Knitters are great people too, but it's different. It's a different crowd.
We have a lot of friends in
That's
CGOA though.
Yeah.
So
but I did get to meet some fabulous people. I got to meet this wonderful man named Albert. And Albert, if you're there, I just want to say, hey, thank you for stopping by. And he was just so encouraging to me and so supportive. And this man actually has been in the crochet industry, in the fashion industry since the 1970s, living in New York City. The work of his hands, his crochet, has graced the pages of crochet books since the 70s as a, he would knit the same, or I'm sorry, crochet the samples. And there's one book by, I think it's Judith Copeland. I actually ordered a copy of it from Amazon because of the pictures of his work, and I'm really looking forward to getting that. So Robert, thanks for your suggestions, and the book is on the way. I'm just waiting for the delivery man to come bring it to my door. Let's see, what else did we do? I bought a lot of yarn, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. And oh, before I do that, I have to tell you, I posted about this on Facebook. Usually when I travel, I'm with my husband, and I don't know if some of you ladies do this or not, but when I'm with my husband, he loves to explore, and I just let him do all the thinking, and I just kind of tag along. Well, you know, that's fine, but when you're by yourself, you have to really think, and you have to know, look at your app and know where you are, be aware of your situational awareness at all times, especially in the subway systems. And I was able to navigate my way to Uptown to run a personal errand. And so I was just so proud of myself. I got there and I got back again in one piece. And I even found, my son Hudson has gotten me kind of hooked onto Chipotle.
Good stuff.
It's been a mystery to me up until now. But my husband and son took me there a couple weeks ago in Gaithersburg. And I'm like, this is really good. And then when I put it into my little Noom app that shows me how many calories.
Noom would be happy about it too.
Noom was very happy about that. And it was all in the green category, which means good.
Even the rice.
Even the rice. And because it was brown rice. But it was very tasty.
So it's more of a whole
very,
grain.
very tasty. So 2 times while I was in New York City, I was able to find the Chipotle somewhere nearby and navigate my way there and back all by myself. And 2 times the group of us, Stephanie, Jennifer's mom, a friend from South Africa, and I think I was with the South Africans most of the time, which was wonderful, by the way. I'm adding that to my bucket list to go to South Africa because these people are great. And I'm really chatty right now.
Caffeine?
The caffeine, I haven't
Did you
had
have
any.
caffeine? No?
No caffeine
Okay.
today.
All right.
No, I don't usually do caffeine, but just remembering the friendships that were made. And as you all know, in this fiber world, when you share the love of fiber, it's really easy to get to know people. And I just feel like I've made lifelong friends through last week. I really miss them. But and Jennifer is the lady from South Africa that you met last week. And the first lady that you met last week. And she owns a yarn store in Pretoria, South Africa. In case any of you watching from South Africa, it's called the Yarn Room. And I just highly recommend you go visit her. And I'd like to go see the store. But anyway, she runs a brick and mortar store. And you can get a lot of the Nutrient Fibers yarn, plus a lot of other stuff from South Africa from her there. But her mother, Jane, who was, I guess, closer to my age, came over to help her. And we bonded like this. I mean, wonderful woman. I was just amazed. And she was so much fun to be with. She's has been married to a man who's an ambassador for many years. And now they're retired. But this woman is fluent, of course, in English. She grew up in the States. But she also is fluent in French and Spanish, Italian, and got a lot of surprised looks from people when she would engage some of the locals in their Spanish. I just love that. I want to be like her when I grow up. So Jane, if you're watching, I miss you, my friend, and I'm gonna do what I can to make South Africa a reality in the next couple years.
She's gotta take me with you.
Take you with? Okay. Yeah.
And Brian too.
And Brian too. But we got to sell a lot of yarn before we can do that.
Speaking of yarn, though.
Speaking of yarn, yes, we have to do a lot more work before we can do that. I still have my bag. This is my bag that Anne brought me. I showed it to you last week. This is from South Africa. And I want to show you the yarn that I got. All the yarn that I bought, I actually got it from the table where I was where I was volunteering with the Good Loops people. Hi, Stephanie. I just wanted to say hey. Oh, and one word about Stephanie. I don't think she'll mind me telling you this. I had one question in the live chat. Wanted to know if Stephanie had gotten to eat any of the Lord's chicken. Okay, the Lord's chicken. What in the world am I talking about? That's Stephanie speak for Chick-fil-A. She lives in a place where there are no Chick-fil-A's. God bless her. and so see, there was one about 3 blocks away from our hotel, and I told her, Stephanie, it's just 3 blocks that way, and but she's like, Bonnie, but it's 19 degrees out and it's freezing cold out there. So it was kind of a long walk, and to make a long story short, she did not get to eat the Lord's chicken, but there's always another opportunity, I guess. Maybe she got some at the airport. I don't know, but anyway, that's one of my favorite places to go to. I have one child working at one of these restaurants in Georgia, and he's actually enjoying it. It's a wonderful work environment. But anyway, talk. I wanted to show you what I brought Becky. This is a bag of bonbons.
Look at all the colors.
And
look at them
yes,
all.
these are actually yeah. Look at all this.
Look at all the colors.
There are over 50
all
colors.
different. Look at that.
And this is the yarn that, let me show you. It comes. Oh, I got
This is the bamboo.
This is the bamboo.
All different bamboo.
It's sold in scans like this, and you can tell it has a nice sheen to it. And this is the one. See, show her your earrings. Mm-hmm. She makes these little hank earrings of yarn. Can you get closer?
I'll try.
Or just take it out. Can you take it out?
Yeah,
and
I can
them?
take it out. And
it's
then I won't be able to put it back in.
See? These little earrings.
There.
And so
this is the bamboo.
So Becky has an Etsy shop.
I do.
And what's the name of your Etsy shop?
It's Becky May Crochet.
Becky May Crochet.
If you search for Becky May Crochet, which is my handle here on YouTube, you should be able to find the shop.
And if there is any color that you really like, you can
tell
get in
me
touch
in the
with
comments.
her, and she can
what
make
colors
those.
should I put in my shop next?
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of different ones. I've got a few little variegated ones in here, some reds and orange and yellows and blues and greens. So tell me what colors you want to see.
That would really help her.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to make a bunch that are just gonna sit there.
So tell me in the comments, tell me in the chat, and I'll see what I can do.
So let me show you what I got. I'll show you the Vogue stuff first. Okay, that was for Becky. I got this for me. These are 100% cotton. These are not the bamboo. And this is another set of bonbons. And these retail, I don't know what the shop, I think this is the same price as what Steph charges. But for a bag of this, and each of these has 30 yards, and there are over 50, let me see. I believe over 50 little balls. But anyway, one of every color. And she sells these for $45. This is all the South African yarn. And this one, I think the bamboo is a little bit more. Yeah, the bamboo bonbons are like $49. But if you're interested in these, I'm pretty sure Steph sells these in the Good Loops store. And if you want the Good Loops link, you just go down in the video description of the video, and that link should be there. But be looking for a project on my channel in the future. And I'm going to try to do a project where I use up the majority of the bag of bonbons here. I'm thinking maybe a blanket might be kind of fun. You know, something where you sew things together. So be looking for something. It might even be an easy beginner granny square. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I'm going to do something with these, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Trying to get the link up
Yeah.
for my shop for you all who might be interested.
Yeah. Well, let me show you some other things I got from the Good Loops people. I've gone ahead and wound them with my ball winder because that's in Maryland and it just makes it a lot easier. But I bought some of their lace weight. This is a blend of merino wool and silk. And I have a plan. I am going to combine this with some of their kid mohair silk. So be looking for a fancy, pretty scarf from my channel with this coming soon. Well, soon-ish. Probably late spring, because I've got a lot of other fun things already lined up. And I got some of these really pretty variegated. This again is lace weight, the merino silk. So we're gonna be working on this. And one thing I love about these silk balls, this is all from Good Loops Fiber, is there's like over 625 meters of yarn in this. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're making a light and airy scarf, you know, 2 should be absolutely plenty. And I got some more kid mohair silk. And let's see what else I got.
And I put the link for my store in the live chat.
These
or
are
you
all
can
the
search for
mohair.
my name. But yeah, continue to tell me what colors you want me to make, and I'll try my best to stock those soon.
Yay. And let's see. I'll show you some of the bamboo I got, because I'm thinking, make sure I pick up this yarn in here, because if I don't, your kitty is going to have a feast.
Or something worse.
Or worse.
Carpet beetles.
Oh, yes. Do you guys know about carpet beetles?
They're harmless, but not to yarn.
Yeah, these are little tiny.
They're
they actually
horrifying.
They come in through your windowsill sometimes. They're not.
They won't hurt you.
And
they're not bad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they really won't bite you. Whatever.
Yeah.
But if you have wool yarn or natural fibers of any kind, so wool, cashmere, alpaca. I had a ball of yarn once. And had.
Past tense.
And the carpet beetles got into it. And what they did is they ate a hole directly through the ball of yarn.
Yep.
So that when I started unwinding it, I got pieces about this big and no longer.
Yeah.
And it was very, very, very sad.
And these are not like bugs that you have to exterminate like roaches. They're not.
No.
They're not things
They're
that
very,
come.
very small bugs.
And they're not harmful. They don't come to your house because your house is dirty. It's not like that at all. It's just something that gets in. They're so tiny. They come in through sealed windows, even windowsills. But yeah,
they're a very normal,
which is why
usually harmless thing.
Which is why
not to yarn.
Which is why I keep most of my natural fibers in a container of some sort. It doesn't necessarily have to be airtight, but as long as it
doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. But as long as it's sealed, but you want to make sure that the plastic is not harmful to the fibers.
And also don't store things close to the ground.
Here's some more. I just wanted to show you some more of the bamboo. Ooh. And I'm going to be making some more summery kind of scarves with this, because that's my favorite thing to make with these. Well, you know, I'm going to put these back in the bag. And let's see what else. And then yesterday, lo and behold, I get a package, and I didn't order anything. And my good friends from Cascade Yarns periodically will just send me yarn just to, you know,
play with.
He's like, you don't have to design with this, but we just want to send you some yarn. So I wanted to tell you about it. They have some new yarn coming out.
Which one is that? Which one is this?
This is called Reverb, and this is I don't know what the price point is on this, but I'm guessing it's more affordable. It's not as pricey as some of the higher end stuff, but it's made of 70% polyester and 30% alpaca, and every bit of the fiber it says here on the tag, it's totally recycled yarn. I mean, recycled from other fiber, which is really cool. But this stuff doesn't feel like, you know, like garbage yarn or anything. It feels wonderful. This is a DK weight.
I like the color.
So you can always go to Cascade. A lot of yarn stores, a lot of your local yarn stores will carry things like this. So I'm just showing this to you because we want to keep our local yarn stores in business, because yes, it's 100% post-consumer recycled materials. Each scan is 273 yards. So that's pretty cool. And Cascade Yarns is a really good company. I've never been disappointed with any of their yarn. I've designed with it, and it's a very good, like if you're a Red Heart gal, only do the Michaels yarn, and you want to bump up just a little bit in quality without breaking the bank. Cascade is a really good brand to look at. I mean, they make high quality stuff. But anyway, just
so that's that one. This is 100% merino wool.
Okay, that's their standard Cascade 220.
So this is a worsted. Looks like a worsted weight.
Yeah.
or 4, and it's 220 yards.
So they call it their. It's kind of a staple.
And this is a sample.
It's kind of a staple yarn. If you go into to yarn stores, usually they carry like this. It's very reasonably priced.
What is this one?
That is a cotton.
It feels like a cotton.
This is also the reverb. It's
what
a
else
cotton
is in this?
polyester.
Just, I was gonna say there's something else in it.
Excuse
And
me.
this is a recycled recycled product as well. Also, all 100% recycled materials.
Yeah, isn't that cool? But it feels great though.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels really nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wish you had a feelometer, but we don't through the
I'll be the
YouTube.
feelometer.
You be the feelometer. And this is something else they sent, and I know when I got this, I know this is going to be a lace scarf. This is going to be a crocheted lace scarf. Don't know when.
Ooh, that's nice.
But this is nice. This is just sock yarn. It's 75% super washed merino, which means you can wash this yarn. It's not going to felt on you like my hat did that I washed yesterday. And this 25% nylon, which gives it a nicer feel. But what's cool about this is if you knit this, it shows you the pattern that's going to knit up on your sock. So, I'm sorry guys, I haven't
Linda
seen
asked,
it.
what yarn company do you think you'd buy from if you needed an alpaca and silk yarn? If you suggest she'll buy from that company.
I have a green poncho. Oh, can I show her this? I don't know what weight.
Silk alpaca.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I want to try to answer this. This is my poncho, if I can get the right side out here. Okay, it has a lot of wear on it. I need to kind of get one of those sweater shavers and get some of the balls of these things off, but I have worn this for probably 4 or 5 years, okay? This is 100%, I think it's called their Pure Alpaca. With Cascade Yarns. Now this doesn't have any silk in it. It's just pure alpaca. This is a Cascade yarn, worsted weight. I'm repeating myself. But do know that when you get alpaca fiber, I don't know what you're gonna make with it. Things that you wear that drape on you, it's amazing with that. If you're going to make a sweater project, like my first sweater project, that did have alpaca in it, but it also has wool and it has the cotton donegal. So the wool helps to stabilize the alpaca. I know this sounds complicated, but what will happen over time is alpaca tends to grow. It tends to stretch a bit. And if you're wearing a poncho that's elongated, that's not a problem. If you're wearing a scarf, that's not a problem. If you're wearing a fitted hat, that's a problem. If you're wearing, although I do have an alpaca hat that I've enjoyed very much.
If you're wearing a sweater.
I think it had wool in it as well. If you're wearing a sweater, if it's all alpaca, there was kind of this joke, and the same can be said of the bamboo that we showed you. People would ask us, oh, can you make a sweater out of the bamboo? And we're like, well, if you make a t-shirt out of the bamboo in the morning, by evening you're gonna have a dress. So it's not quite as bad with the alpaca, but if you make a fitted garment, it's going to stretch out. So unless you plan on gaining a lot of weight, which I don't recommend, if you want alpaca, I'm repeating myself, if you want alpaca for a sweater, get something with wool, because the wool has the tighter hair, well, depending on the type of sheep, because there are many different breeds of sheep. So, I mean, this gets really complicated. It's like, buying shampoo at the store, for your hairstyle. Some people have straight hair like mine, won't take a curl even if I wanted to. And then some people's hair is very tightly curled. And that's more like the wool. And so that when you pull on it, it bounces back. Alpaca doesn't do that. So I hope that answers your question, Linda.
Well, what brand do you recommend for that kind of yarn?
There are so many good brands. I like Cascade Yarns, but there are, I'm going blank. What are some other?
Barocco?
Barocco's another very standard. I mean, their stuff is everywhere. These are like the big brand names that will be in every store. Cascade Yarns, Barocco. But now there may be some really excellent smaller companies out there that are just as good, if not better. But I have used both Barocco. Actually, I'm working on a project I'm not allowed to tell you about for a publication company. And I'm actually using Barocco. Barocco, I'm using a blend of wool and alpaca. But honestly, this is softer.
It's so soft.
The pure alpaca
So soft.
is softer. But now if you were looking for something with wool in it, Barocco has something called Ultra Alpaca. It's a little, not quite, I don't want to say rough. It's not rough, but it's not as soft as this.
But it's got more strength.
It has more strength, yeah. So you have trade-offs. Well, I want to show you something. Okay, I'm going to get to the KnitCrate. Let me put this in my bag, because I don't want the kitty to find this later. And so before we get to the KnitCrate, and by the way, those of you who've never heard of KnitCrate, it's a monthly yarn subscription. This particular one I'm going to show you is the, I don't want to say the basic. I mean, I say it's their, I guess
it's the regular
one.
It's not their sock weight.
Yeah,
it's not their.
It's not their Malabrigo. Oh, by the way, I got to meet the owner of the Malabrigo company from Uruguay. That was really fun. That was a blessing to me. It was so cool because everybody knows Malabrigo in yarn stores, and actually, I believe I used his yarn on this scarf I'm wearing. But anyway, if you're looking for a scarf like this is actually on my channel. It's the Celtic Weave Infinity Scarf or something like that. But okay, KnitCrate. This is $24.99 a month if you get it, and they ship it to your house. And I will tell you that
and the $24.99 includes the shipping.
Includes shipping. That's your charge.
That's everything.
Period. That's everything. And I don't know what's inside here, but whatever's inside is usually worth
more than that.
Double that, or a lot more than that. If you're going to buy it outright at a fiber festival or whatever, you're going to pay a lot more than what they ship to give you. I love not knowing what's in the box and finding out. And beyond that, since I started kind of being an ambassador for this company, they had to, I told you before, they had to twist my arm a few times because I don't want to ever share or try to even remotely look like I'm pushing something on you. And I'm not pushing this. I'm just excited about it because about a year or more ago, I got another box from them. Well, I get a box every month, but this company has really encouraged me so much, and I have learned to knit well from the yarn that they have sent me. I don't know if you remember this unboxing. This has not been blocked or anything, but I finally, after a year, I have finally finished another scarf shawl. And let me show you. This is the basket weave, and this is knit.
And this is with KnitCrate yarn?
This is with KnitCrate yarn.
And is this a KnitCrate pattern as well?
This is a KnitCrate pattern as well. And I am real excited about this because it's black and white, and it's gonna go.
It's more like a dark gray.
Yeah, but it's gonna go with anything.
Yeah.
I have a black dress that I can wear, and this is gonna be great.
It's nice and light.
It's very light, and the needles were so small. I thought it would never end.
Well, she's used to crocheting. Crocheting goes so fast for you.
Yeah, it does. But this was like, this was smaller. This is almost a little bit smaller than a sock weight yarn. But, you know, I've learned to do edging, and I've just learned a lot from their patterns. And I've knit other things from their yarn. So anyway, let's go ahead and can you find a pair of scissors?
Yes.
From Grandma's desk there. My mother-in-law is so organized. One day I'm going to be like her too, but
I'm not sure I will.
yeah, you know, I can always dream, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this. If you're interested in signing up for this, there's a link in the description below. It's an affiliate link, which means I'm going to benefit a little bit if you use it, but it's not going to cost you any more. In fact, if you want to try it, and if it's your first time, you've never done any business with them, and if you use the code Bonnie, BONNIE 20, so it's written down there, BONNIE 20, then you get 20% off your first box.
And I'm going to put it in the chat. It's
down there in the description as well. If you don't like it, you just cancel. there's no, like some of these have like a year commitment and you get kind of stuck. This is not like it at all. Their customer service has been extremely responsive to me, and it's been a real joy for me to work. So let's go ahead and see. Oh, I love this color.
This is it's so bright.
Oh my gosh. Look, can you see the little peak of color?
I love their paper. Oh,
yeah. I was hoping I would get this color. What is this? What is this?
Oh, it's so cute.
What is this?
It's a little hat. What is it?
We have to find out what that is. So cool. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow. Brooklyn Boy Knits.
Look at this. And you
by
get
Knitology.
Oh my goodness. I love this color. It just reminds me of a parrot or something.
Wow.
What is it?
It's 100% superwash merino wool. It doesn't feel like it though. It's so soft.
But look at this. It's two
Color
different colorways, but they're coordinated. Okay, so
this is a variegated too. Look,
they're
there's
both,
some variation.
They're both very,
There's some lighter and
that's
some
what you
darker.
get. What they call kettle dye. You get a slight variation, but these are meant to be, designed together. But I was hoping I would get these colors. Oh, that's so
beautiful.
Okay, so what? So
here's the book that comes with it. And it has. Let's see. Ooh.
Let's see what the other color. Do they show the other color?
Hang on, not here.
Come on.
Let's see. They have their
This is what they're. Citrone.
It's called.
How does that? Citrine.
Citrine.
That reminds me. I just love this color. I'm sorry, all the emoting here, but I mean, I usually don't get so excited about it, but.
Wow. These are the.
What's
3 different ones.
Show them the different colors.
Okay,
there's 3 possibilities.
So this is the one that we got. Yes. But then they also have concrete, jungle, and bushwick. It's an all natural, more natural colors, and then they have their cooler colors. So that's you can actually choose that if you would prefer to usually get the cooler, the blues, the purples, the greens. You can say only send me those colors, or you can say no, only send me the bright reds, yellows, oranges.
Far sunset.
Or what Mom has done, she's just surprised me. Any of them. She could get any of it.
And you know why I love it? Because what do I always tell you when we go into a yarn store?
Don't let me buy blue or green.
Okay. I always instruct her, don't let me buy.
Don't do it, Mom.
Because everything in my wardrobe, blue or green. And I love those colors because I can wear them. But if I'm doing things for YouTube or for you guys, I know that you're not necessarily stuck in the same rut that I am. And I want something that's going to be beautiful. And I want to get out of my comfort zone.
And then they also have their sock yarn boxes. Yeah. And these were the colorways that this month for the sock yarn. Yeah. Someone was asking how many skeins of yarn do you get? In this box, you usually get 2.
So let's look at the.
But I think you only get 1 for the sock weight.
Yeah, it might be different. Because I think it depends.
Yes, here we go.
Okay, so, but just to let you know the yardage, this is worsted weight, which is the thicker yarn, 225 yards. So that's 450 yards of worsted weight, 100% superwash merino wool. You can machine wash this, which is great. So if you wash this, it's not going to felt like my hat did. Oh, I could just kick myself for doing that.
Yeah, and in these books
What is the hat? What is the little hat? Is that just
know.
I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do with my little hat unless it goes in a little.
Oh, someone's asking what is sock weight yarn?
Very good question. Sock weight yarn would be the kind of yarn that I used to make this. It's a numbering system in yarn, like the worsted weight would be like the same as the Red Heart Super Saver. That's what this is, the same weight. It's a number 4. In the US, we like to use the numbering system. Now, if you get a thicker yarn than this, like bulky weight, it would be a 5. And for example, the yarn that I'm coming out with, for the yarn that I used in the project I told you about, the 30-minute scarf, it's jumbo. It's a 7. I mean, the yarn is like this thick. It's really thick yarn. Okay. A worsted is a 4. The DK weight is a 3. 2 would be kind of like a sport
Lace.
weight.
Well, 2?
A lace is a 0.
That's a 0.
Yeah,
okay.
this
right. Okay.
that I showed you, the real thin stuff. And actually, let me get one of those. I'll show you. Okay. This is lace weight. This is a little bit thicker than thread that you sew with. This is a 0. Now, a sock weight is also another synonym we use in the industry is fingering weight. So if someone says I'm looking for fingering weight,
same as sock.
The same as sock. Where's that ball of sock yarn? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for the rattly.
And when you're done, I have to answer another question.
Okay, so this is a little bit thicker. Okay, this would be sock weight. I know this is hard to understand. To do it the best, you really need a micrometer. My son has one of those. He's into the machinist.
But anyway, someone else is wondering how much this yarn costs. Now, if you get this subscription, she gets 2 skeins here. This is the $24.99 per month.
And they put little goodies in here,
right?
Little,
but with the $24.99, you get the 2 skeins of yarn, and you get the pattern book. The pattern book has knit and crochet patterns
for all
the different
boxes.
So, yes. So for this one, for example, this pattern's a cowl. So you have a knit cowl and you have a crochet cowl, and then if you got the sock weight one, which the sock box only has 1 skein of yarn, but it has the pattern for socks and knit.
Enough for a pair of socks. That's enough for a pair of socks.
Well, yes.
The yardage is usually much longer.
But what's interesting is someone asked how much is 1 skein of yarn, and actually it tells you here.
You can actually buy extra from the company.
Those skeins of yarn that we just got 2 of, they normally retail at $24 each.
And that's not inflated fluff. No. It really does. If you go to a yarn store.
Yeah.
And again, the yarn store has overhead. You know, they have expenses to meet. And
so that's $50 worth of yarn
for 25,
plus the pattern.
$24.99
for $25
delivered to your door,
including shipping.
So
it's a good deal.
Yeah. And like I said, I have not been disappointed. Okay, I wanted to show you all something. Let me see. Let me look at my list. First of all, I wanted to ask, and if you all can let me know how my first crocheted sweater is going. I would love to see photos. So if you all can go to my Bonnie Bay Crochet Facebook page, if you do Facebook, or even on Instagram. I think my channel is called Crochet with Bonnie. I think the link is in the description below. Yeah. Post it on Instagram, and if you can put what they call a hashtag, my generation called the #, do the hashtag thing, and hashtag Bonnie Bay Crochet or Crochet with Bonnie, and I will get that. I would love to see your progress. If you're having problems, I would like to know that too. And if you are having problems, don't dialogue long and hard on Ravelry or places like that about it. Come to me. I want to know. If you're having problems, I need to know as a teacher so that I know how to help you.
And so she can fix it.
So I can help you fix it or help me fix it. I mean, let me know. I want to know some feedback. If you're having a great time with that, I would love to know that, of course. And if you want to tell others, that would be great. If you're not having a good time, I definitely want to know about this. Any way I can help you, I really want to do that. And that leads me into the next thing. February 3rd is coming up so fast. And I'm going to be getting that pattern out within by next Friday. That pattern must be out. I'm going to have that pattern up and ready on my store. So be looking for that. The videos start February 3rd. But I wanted to show you something that I found online. I ordered it, and I used this to block my Afghan because I had to block the border. Because sometimes when you crochet around, it tends to curl up. So I wanted to show you how I solved this problem. I was using other makeshift thing at my home, and I decided to go ahead and invest in a set of these blocks. They're made of foam. They're really cushy, and I have, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can't even count.
3, 6,
10.
9.
1.
3, 6, 9.
Okay, 9.
Yeah,
9.
because it's 3 by 3.
So it's 9
so you can
square
make a
feet.
square. Yeah.
So I want to show you how these go together really easily.
And all the lines line up.
And each of these lines are square inches. So if you're needing to measure something, to block something to a certain size, you can do that. You don't need that so much for what I used it for blocking the Afghan, blocking the edge. But it did help to have the straight line so that I knew that when I blocked it that it was going to be straight. And I don't remember how much these cost, but there are the links. I do have affiliate links if you want to look at that. Again, this never cost you more, but they do benefit me in a small way. And I found this box. Look at this. What do they call these? Read it for me, girl. You got better eyes than I do.
Knit blocking comb set for knitting, crochet, and lace.
Okay, and it's a little box it comes in.
By Red
And look at these. These are combs. And what's cool about this is instead of putting individual pins in your work, you can pull a section and get it all straight. And then look at this. It just kind of, bonk. It goes right into these boards really well. And then when you pull these out, when you're done, after you've let your item, what I typically do is get something just damp, a little bit wet.
Steam it or something?
I actually used a damp washcloth and a bowl of water to just lightly dampen the area that I was blocking. And then I use these and stick that in and then let it air dry. Then in the winter time, in the heat, it dries really quickly. And then it should be fine. And it works really well with scarves and things. If you have lace, you want to block lace. And you got a whole box of them. And then they even sent a bunch of extra pins, individual pins as well, that I never even bothered to use. And then they have these small ones, these smaller size too.
Somebody wants to know why they should block.
Okay. It's a way to take the curl out of something. Like if you crochet something and the edge curls around, it's a way to do that. If you knit something, oftentimes if you get something wet and then block it and then let it air dry, it actually helps to better define the shape of it, especially if it's
Does it also
like
depend
a lace
on what it's
edge.
made of?
It depends on what it's made of. I haven't had to block a lot of acrylic, honestly. There's a lot of things I've made, like even this this scarf is it's a gee whiz, wool cashmere nylon blend, and I never blocked it. I never had to. Just sometimes things depending on the fiber you use. Knitters are more accustomed to doing this because when you knit something, it tends to curl.
Or if you do like a doily, you always need to block those.
If you do a doily, you definitely need to wet it and then block it and
maybe even starch it a little bit.
and the pins just help to block it, and it just really defines your work. But again, I haven't had to do a lot of it, but I am every now and then having to do that. And these pins are nice because here's another box of them I got. They are not supposed to leave. They're not supposed to rust. So that's the last thing you need, is to block a beautiful white sweater.
You have a red rust mark.
Sometimes if you're making sweater pieces, you're not going to need to block the sweater my first sweater. I didn't have any need to block with that type, the stitching and all. You're not going to need to block it unless you use some really stiff yarn, but you shouldn't be using that anyway. But sometimes you have to block sweater pieces, block them to the correct size. Yeah. So.
Well, we're starting to run late.
We are running. Oh my goodness. Oh, we are running really late.
What else we got?
Okay. I told you about the colorful cables cowl. Again, these would be helpful. You don't need to go out and buy that. If you've got, some people just like to block it on towels and on their table.
Would cardboard work?
I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't because of the
damp.
I wouldn't. Yeah. But in the past I have used towels, and you can pin it down. I mean, it doesn't work as well as these, but you know, you can make do.
Barbara wants to know, when you block something, do you have to do it every time you wash the piece?
I would, yeah, especially if it's a sweater made of really fine yarn. That's another thing I should show you. If you do sweaters, be careful that if you don't have superwash wool, like I didn't have, it will felt.
Yep.
It will turn into something other than what you put in. Even if you put
Felting's great if you intend
if
it
you
to
intend,
do that.
I did not intend to do that.
No.
So it depends. If you have superwash merino wool, you should be fine. I typically put it in a garment bag. I have a front loader, not one of those twisty things, but a front loader, and just washing it on gentle cycle, and then definitely laying it flat to dry. If you hang it, of course, it'll stretch it out. I actually bought a sweater dryer. I haven't even unboxed it yet. Maybe I'll do that next week. But it's just something from Amazon I got for like, I don't know, $13. And I can actually stack 3 or 4 sweaters on it. And it's like a netted material, and it's wide. And then I can hang it in my bathroom. So I don't even have to set it up on a tabletop. I can just hang it in on my shower rod in my bathroom overnight. Isn't that great? The kitty
is a paw.
The kitty is
under the door.
Yeah.
She wants in.
Let her
Does she
in.
want to come in and say hi?
Yeah. She's trying to open the door. This cat can open doors. Here she is. Okay. Any of you interested in the classes I'll be teaching at Yarnfest in Loveland, Colorado, they're starting to fill up, which I'm excited about. So they're not full. They're far from full. But people are starting to sign up, and we're still 3 months out. So if you are going to be in the Loveland, Colorado area, the end of April, I'm going to be teaching classes April 29th and April 30th. And I would love to meet some of you there. I do kind of a fun little thing. I try to keep everybody healthy. And this is not in the advertisement, but whenever we after we sit and crochet for about an hour. Oh boy. Is this? Ooh.
Oh,
We've got treats. We're gonna bribe her to sit still.
Hey,
There
Noe.
we go.
Noe.
You gonna come
Sit.
visit me?
Sit. You gonna sit? Sit. No.
The
You're
cat
precariously perched on my lap.
The
Okay.
cat does what cat wants to do.
Yes. Here you
Yeah,
go.
okay.
Oh,
she's coming
say
to Mama.
hello.
She's coming to say hey. You say hey. Look,
Yeah, she likes her treats.
she's such a sweet kitty. What she
Yeah.
wants to be.
Yes.
Okay, well,
All right. I'll
anyway, Loveland, Colorado. We just have a lot of fun with our classes. Going to be teaching 3 classes. One is beginning knit for crocheters. Got some people signed up for that. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be teaching an I Love Crochet Cables class, and we are going to cover a lot very quickly. So these are intermediate classes, but if you're a confident beginner and you know your basic stitches, you are welcome to join these classes. And I'm also teaching a big and bold cables, and there could be some cables that I'm going to be teaching in there that I have not released in any of my designs yet. So I'm really, really excited about that. And one thing I like to do is about every hour during these classes, because these are 3-hour-long classes, and that's a long time to sit. But we have a little song break every now and then. We do some fun crochet songs, and everybody feels real silly, and usually the teachers next to me get kind of mad because I disrupt their classes a little bit. But it only lasts for like 2 minutes. The idea is to get up and move around so nobody dies of a blood clot on my watch. I know that's a real thing for many of us. So, you know, it's just kind of fun to, you know, get up and just be a little bit active, even in the midst of all our fun sitting and crocheting. The CGOA classes and the agenda is now available if you go to cgoa.org. I believe it is. I put a link in there. So any of you who are going to be in the New Orleans, Louisiana area, the dates. It's in July.
July?
It's late July. You'll have to go online and see. I didn't write the dates down, but it's late July, like 3rd, 4th week in July. And check out the class offerings. There are a ton of classes. A lot of, you know, some of your favorite teachers you may already follow online or, you know, through other means. A lot of different classes are going to be there. My good friend Jennifer Ryan from Celtic Knot Crochet, go check out her channel.
It's the 23rd to the 25th of
Thank
July.
You,
thank you, Anne.
Thank you, Anne. Oh, Anne. Is that Anne? Is that my... Oh, that's Anne. Anne, so glad to see you, my friend. This is the wonderful lady that brought me the bag. Anne, I showed everybody the bag earlier again today, and all the Good Loops yarn. It's so good to see you. Anyway, so CGOA, I have 6 classes. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be in that teaching room for 21 hours.
So busy.
I'm going to be so busy. But the classes are going to be so much fun. And these are some new classes for me I've never taught before. I've taught them in other places, but not on a national level. We're going to teach a class on asymmetrical scars demystified. Mm-hmm. We're going to learn a little bit about your own personal design elements. You're going to learn how to even take a stitch and try to design your own scarf, which is going to be fun. We're going to do the beginning knitting for crocheters again. What does Anne say? I got to see Anne.
She's coming to see you.
You're coming to CGOA! Yay, Anne! Yay! You can leave your coat at home for this one, Anne. It is going to be so hot.
It's going to be July, and it's going to be hot, and it's going to be humid. If you like to swim through the air, and be very grateful for air conditioning.
Yeah, don't discourage us now. But seriously, if you do come to the CGOA, don't worry about the weather. Be praying that no early hurricanes are coming. That shouldn't be a problem. But if you do come, just know that 99% of the time is going to be indoors in air conditioning, and you're going to be so distracted meeting all these amazing, fun crocheters just like you. Mm-hmm. It will be a memorable time, even if you don't take a class. Don't tell CGO I said that. Even if you don't take a class, because I know they're expensive, okay? And I'm a teacher, but I want you to take my classes, but I understand. Just go. If you can't afford that and you live in the area,
much fun.
Just go. You'll be hooked for life. Ha, no pun intended.
Ha ha.
But you, well, okay, maybe I didn't intend that, but anyway, so another class I'm teaching, okay, the beginning knitting for crocheters, the same one that's in Colorado. I'm going to be bringing that one to New Orleans.
Ooh, Wanda's coming.
Yay, Wanda. The big and bold cables, a new approach to larger crochet cables. This is a unique cabling system that I'm the only one that I know of who's doing this. This is my brainchild from a few years ago. Going to be doing fun crochet fabric for beginners. This is for the beginners who already know the basic stitches. But we're going to learn a lot of fun, different textures that you can use. And this is going to be my personal favorite. This class is the one I'm going to tell you about next is a 6-hour class, okay? So we're going to be best buds, or you're going to hate me at the end of this class. No, it's going to be fun. Is how to design your own texturized poncho or stole.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to learn how to design your own poncho. You can design it with cables. You can do without cables. And if you take that class, I want people to come with ideas. Come with ideas. Some of your favorite stitches, have them in mind. We're going to spend 6 hours together. We're going to learn how to think this through, how to draw out the diagrams, how to do the algebra. I shouldn't choose that word. The math. I'm going to show you how we do the math. Which it takes up a lot of designers' time. That we're going to learn how to do the math, how to take yarn that you want to use, how to maybe even choose yarn, talk a little bit about fibers, and then we're going to start. You know, we're going to try to write out your design, and then you're going to start working on that. Of course, you're not going to be leaving any of these classes with a completed design. That would be crazy. But you're going to leave with the tools to do your own design and kind of bring you into my world with me. And then I'm going to be teaching an I Love Crochet Cables class. That's going to be a 3-hour class. We'll cover, I believe, about 9 of the cables that I use. These are different than the big and bold cables. People have asked me, well, are the big and bold cables classes the same as the other? No, they're not. They're different.
Different classes.
They're different cables. I mean, they may use similar techniques, but they are going to be different cables. You'll leave with a bunch of swatches of what you did, and then labels for your swatches. so that you can go home and, apply that to whatever you want. Or maybe even just, learn how to do these so that you have the confidence to jump into some, some books that have these cables. So I just, want to demystify all this for you. And those of you who've seen some of my videos on YouTube know that they are not as hard as they seem. And, or at least that's what I'm hoping that you have found, that it may make you and me look like a genius. That's the goal. And we will just keep it our little secret that it's not as hard as it looks, okay? That if you know the basic stitches, you can do this. Well, I think...
Somebody wanted to know if you're planning on having an event or anything in Texas at some point.
I would love to, but I tried the DFW, the Dallas Fort Worth, but they had a lot of other, fantastic classes submitted to them, and so they didn't pick mine. But I'll keep trying. I will try again next year. And
come to New Orleans.
Yeah, come to New Orleans. That's a long way to go.
I
Texas is like
I know
a big state. They could like be their own country if they choose to, but don't choose that. Texas, stay with us, okay? But I also wanted to mention a price point. I'm going to be totally transparent here because I don't want you to be in the dark. I wanted to tell you how much the classes cost. And the reason is there's a difference if you're a CGOA member or not. There's a difference in price.
It's worth it. Become a member.
Yeah.
Become a member.
If you get a chance to join CGOA, Crochet Guild of America, I don't know is it 35 or 40?
I think it's $35.
It used to be $35.
It could be more.
It might be a little bit more.
It might
now.
be $40. Yeah. I could look it up.
Could you look it up?
Yes.
For us? She's going to look that up. But when you join CGOA, there are some perks, but the biggest perk of all is you get the crochet magazine delivered to your door 4 times a year. And the newsstand price, I believe, would be more than what it costs to sign up for CGOA. But it's just fun being... Okay, how much is it?
They have a digital-only membership, which means that you get the magazine digitally.
Okay.
That is $35.
Okay.
The traditional membership, which is U.S. only... I will clarify. It says U.S. only. The traditional one has the hard copy of the magazine is $40.
Okay. So, like, for example, Anne is in South Africa. So if anybody in the world can join the Crochet Guild of America. If Anne wanted to join, it would cost her $35 for the digital.
And she
would get the digital membership, and each of those magazines that come out, have anywhere from 20 to 25 patterns in it each time. It also has in the middle of the magazine the update of all the different chapters. And there are chapters, like there's one in Australia that Jenny King started. I think it's Crochet Guild of Australia, of course. But anyway, the price points for the classes, for example, if you take a 3-hour class and you are a member of CGOA, it's $85. If you are... And by the way, that money does not all go to me, does not all go to the teacher. A lot of that, we get an hourly rate depending on how many people are in the class. And I won't get into all that, but I'll just let you know that's not all for us. A lot of this goes to cover the overhead of organizing and running the conference, of renting the conference rooms. There's a lot of overhead costs. And CGOA is a nonprofit organization. So a lot of this goes to pay the people that are there, like almost... They do like 18-hour days, serving us women during the conference.
And to clarify, that is $35 for digital, $40 for regular per year.
Per year.
Not per month, as somebody was asking. It's
That's
per year. That's a good
question. Yeah, per year. But if you're not a member, you can still come to the conference. It's not a problem. If you sign up for classes, that $85 3-hour class is now $105. So,
wait, what?
See, so it's $105
if you're not a member.
If you're a non-member. Okay. Now the class that I told you about, the poncho class, the design your own texturized poncho, that's a 6-hour class. Okay, that class for a member is $170. I mean that's a lot of instruction. That's 6 hours, and we do have a break in between there. I do take little breaks, like I told you, so nobody dies of blood clots or whatever. Since my mom was on blood thinner before she passed away, she was on it for many years, so I'm much more aware of things like this. and I'm getting to that age where I need to be concerned. But if you are not a member, that same class is $210. So I mean, these are investments. I totally understand. It's not for the faint of heart. So I totally understand this is an investment, but you know, by taking these classes, you also are helping to pay for my expenses to fly there. I mean, there's a lot of overhead costs.
So we can eat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it just kind of helps everybody. But just to let you know, all that doesn't go straight to the teachers. It's kind of to the conference and to making the entire event a success. And if you do get a chance to attend New Orleans, do all that you can to sign up for the banquet. The banquet is where we have a fashion show. I mean, the food is usually
it's been
good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Ruth Chris Steakhouse, but it's usually decent food, and you get to sit around the table, beautifully decorated. They usually have free yarn. They usually have lots of yarn at these conferences, depending on how the sponsors are, you know, and where they show up. There may be a special program this year. I don't know yet if we're doing a sing-along program. I'll have to get back to you. I saw Anne coming
and somebody
in.
else, I just put the link. If you're interested in signing up and becoming a member of CGOA, it is in the live chat right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Anne, for your sweet comment. And there are going to be a lot of really good teachers, I think, in the lineup.
There's amazing
as well.
people.
A lot of people that I really look up to in that lineup.
Yeah, so check out the other classes as well.
Yeah, and if you're looking to, I don't know if there's other knit classes, but I think it's primarily crochet.
Probably.
I do have the beginning knit class, but and that's just mostly to help get you crocheters. I used to tease my daughter because she learned
the
to
dark
knit.
side
Yeah, she
of
learned.
the force.
Yeah, I used to tease her. Oh, you've gone over to the dark side, you know.
We have cookies.
Yes, but I have learned that the knitting it just helps me to have it demystified, and I realize now that I don't need to be afraid of this. Actually, it's not harder than crochet. It's actually easier. You only have 2 stitches to learn. I mean, there are other techniques, of course, that you can learn as time goes on. But, you know, where crocheters have to learn 5 things plus work in that chain all along, which is really hard. I mean, if you can do all of that, I mean, knitting is just zit, zit,
2 stitches.
Zit. I mean, it's
Two.
so different. And
2 stitches.
yeah, it just takes longer. But anyway, I'm not trying to push that too hard. I pushed it real hard on Stephanie. Sorry, Steph. But you know, just so that we understand each other, and also, I kind of would like to break through that, you know, it's them or us kind of mentality.
We're all yarn people.
Yeah, all we are, and that's the one thing about at Vogue Knitting. There's so many people that do both. And you know, in some camps it's like, oh, I only crochet, oh, I only knit, and I confess that used to be me to some extent because I was mostly afraid of it. But you know, now it's like, oh, you know, I like General Patton, you know, I read your book, you know. He has this wonderful quote which I won't repeat verbatim because it was quoting Patton, but he quotes General Rommel from the German army from World War II. He says, I read your book. So I like understanding both sides. And I did that too to try to help me make crochet better for all of us as well, if I can. So we are way
it's
over.
After 1.
We said this is really late. So thank you guys. I am so sorry for going so late, but it was great having you too.
Yeah.
I love my girl so much. I miss my girl at home. I miss Hannah. Hannah, I miss you, sweetheart. But Becky's here. We're trading the baton.
That's a good question.
Yes.
Have they opened registration for CG for the conference yet? I don't think they have. Have they?
I don't know. I just noticed that if you hit that link below, it shows the lineup of the classes. I don't think it's open yet. It should be, but
I'm looking.
can you look? But if once it opens, and if there's anything you want to take, I would encourage you to sign up. Not just for me, but other teachers as well. Sign up as soon as you can because a lot of these classes do sell out. the CGOA ones. Not sure about the Lovefest ones yet. I'm hoping my classes sell out. I have a generous amount of seats in the ones in Colorado, but they're not sold out there. But there's still 3 months to go, so I don't know yet. But
it doesn't look like it's open.
Okay. So,
double check.
yeah.
But I don't think it's open yet.
Yeah, I couldn't find a link today.
No.
So I mean, we're a little behind on that site actually. So they may be waiting for.
For all the teachers to confirm.
I think they've gotten that. They've
maybe.
gotten
Oh, they
that.
have. I guess they do have a list. Oh.
Yeah, so they may be waiting on. I don't know. They may be waiting on the schedule. They may not have the actual. That's what I haven't seen yet. So they may be waiting on the actual day and time schedule, and they have to get that solidified with the hotel. But as soon as that happens, I will let you know. Well, that's all from here in Conway, South Carolina. Gosh, we've been doing this 70 minutes. Good grief. This is the longest one I think we've done. Thank you guys for joining me again. And Lord willing, we will see you next week. Have a great week and stay warm.
Bye.
Bye.